Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Suleiman Raheem here. Welcome. Let's slay some demons. I'm going over this topic over and over again because we're just days away from this war. And so I just keep bringing it home. Make sure everybody understands, those that are paying attention, we're just days away from it. So that's what we're focusing on. And little segue here, well, they're focusing on me. It's got a warning from YouTube, hate speech warning, about a video I did over a month or so ago. So I guess when they review the other ones, they probably just shut the whole channel down, because this was a video I did about a month ago, maybe 2 months. And actually, I was criticizing a video that was done by one of Farrakhan's puppets, Mr. Wesley, where he was actually making hateful statements, right, against false Israel. So what's going on here is that they're trying to shut the truth down. It's not going to work because the war is going to take place. It's not going to work. And most likely, it might have been Wesley himself that did it, flagged as hate speech, because that's what they do. They'll take and they'll go in and say they want to attack you. They say, well, it's hate speech. Trying to shut you down. And that's probably Wesley and Farrakhan and his people, because they're trying to shut this truth down. Because this was out months ago, so it wasn't flagged by YouTube. Someone had to go in and say. And so I was attacking him for his lies, his BS. So he probably the one that did it. Hey, you use hate speech. And he's the one that doing the hate speech. But I just told him, I said, what is hate speech? If someone does something hateful and you react with hate, that's hate speech? If someone does something, think about that. Someone does something hateful and you act normally, because that's what hate is about. You hate something that's hateful, and that's wrong. So if a woman is being raped and she puts out a hateful video about the person that raped her, that's hate speech. See, this is just an effort to silence, because these people have done hateful things around the world, and specifically to us for 20 years. Hateful things. Now they don't want you to talk about it, because they keep saying, "Oh, we didn't do anything. Everything was good. We're the nation founded on laws, and we're founded on justice, and we found equal rights, and all men are created equal." And that's a lie. All of it's a lie. It's still in the Constitution. We 3/5 human, and they beat us and tortured us and everything. But they say, "Oh no, we're a just country. We love everybody. We was founded on justice, equality, and all men are created equal." That's what they're telling you. That's what they want everybody to hear. And it's a lie. And you got these folks, these demons. See, they repeat it. Oh man, we love America. Yeah, man. This is the best country in the world for us. Well, we done good here. We got Black History Month, and we can vote, and it's like all that stuff never happened. They're trying to erase the fact that it ever happened on both sides. So that's hate speech, because hateful things are done to you. Now you can't express the hate. You can't express, right, the hateful things they did to you. You can't express it. Somebody raped you, can't say, you can't express the fact they raped you. You can't say it. That's hate speech. Why are you speaking hate on him? He did a hateful thing. So if they don't have a thing, so you, oh no, you guys respond with love. Oh, not love, I love and praise God. Praise Jesus. See? That's part of the illusion, all these illusions, all these things, none of it's going to work. But they're more and more desperate. They're trying to give you some reality that doesn't exist. So now you can't speak against all the hateful because they want to present themselves, they was good people. They did everything great. See? No, genocide, murder, rape, enslavement, theft, everything. You hear them talking about? Those radicals, they want people to think we stole this country. Well, you did. Then people think that we repressed people. You did. You know, people think that we was evil and we did all kinds of evil. You did. So they talk. Well, the radicals want, well, is it true or not? So they don't want to face justice. Somehow they think that they can just whitewash this, and then the justice comes and somehow, hey man, you know, because no one talks about it, it must not exist. But that's not the way the universe works. See, mathematics don't care about all that BS. It takes that into consideration, right? See, because that shows right there your resistance to even own up to what you did. Take any kind of accountability. See? Then what you think that America's a racist country? It is. They want you to think that people look at you because you're race. You do. All the bad things happen, and so you know, America made a lot of mistakes and everything. Mistake? 40-year mistake? So you go kill somebody and say, well, I made a mistake, and Judge, I made a mistake. Really? Well, I'll make a mistake too. I'll put your ass in jail for the next 50 years. How about that mistake? Don't worry about it, brothers and sisters. None of this is going to work. The explosion's already taken place. The bomb is already blowing up. It's exploding. So they can do everything they want to do. It's going to blow them away or convert them. They're desperate to get out. It's like someone in death row, desperate to get off of death row, desperate. Say anything. Say, oh, my mama did it, dad did it, whatever. Anything, just get me off of death row. Pressure's closed in on them. From when you're under pressure, you become desperate. See, you're under pressure, become desperate. People do desperate things when you're under intense pressure. And so now you got all this, oh, this is a free country, free speech. Well, oh, but you can't say everything, but it's not freedom, is it? Well, you can't say hateful speech, but who defines hateful speech? You're going to let the rapist define what the victim of his rape has to say about it? Well, you can't say this stuff. You can't say that about it. I'm saying that one say about it. You did that. You see what's going on? That's part of this grand illusions. All these illusions, and delusions. And they come at you all kinds of ways, like Farrakhan. He's one of the grand master of delusions. Because he come in a way that he makes you think that he's with you. You know, like in the mob, right? They send a family member to get you because you don't expect it. So that's what he is. See, he's supposed to be somebody he's standing by Muhammad's seat. See, so you won't suspect him. All you gotta do is look under the cover and you see exactly what's going on with him, because he's totally against these things Elijah Muhammad taught about. So we're gonna go into this presentation, brothers and sisters, and I'm gonna keep it brief, but I'm gonna focus again on where we are right now. Now, they're probably going to cancel this one too. They took the other one off. Like I said, I just included one of NOI's videos of Wesley talking about that virus. He's knocking false Israel and everything about it. So, because I looked at the video again, and that's the only thing that's the only hateful speech I saw in it. Because we're not teaching hate here. We're teaching truth. But see, the point is the guilty hate the truth. So for them, truth is hate speech. The guilty, truth is hate speech. You ain't no good. You murdered. You killed my mama. You murdered my father. You raped my sister. Oh man, look, he's full of hate. Really? What you think the emotion of hate is for? To express your reaction to hateful deeds. So in other words, I said nothing to get at you physically. So you can't express a real emotion. You have to be part of the delusion yourself. You have to delude yourself. See? You have self-delusion. So in other words, you can't respond to hate with a hateful reaction. You got to respond with love. Oh, I love that he raped me, but he wasn't so bad. He wasn't so bad, and he's a good guy. He just had high testosterone levels that day. Gee, I pray for Jesus for him. See? So by default, they force you into their delusion, right, about their religion. Because you got to forgive everybody. So now you got to see, but you're supposed to have a freedom of religion. See? And so Judaism and Islam say eye for eye, tooth for tooth. But no, you can't respond that way, because that's what it is. If you that's right. So in other words, if somebody does something hateful to you, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, that means you respond hatefully. God hates. Jesus hates. Say come with a sword. Say you come with peace. You see what they're doing? So this crap about hate speech is BS. Because you can't respond, you can react to their hateful deeds. You have to react with, oh, slave wasn't so bad. They boys over here. We thankful. Man, look, we in the greatest country in the world. If they had the boys over here, see, you gotta be whatever they trying to make you be. So all this crap, it was never true to begin with. Freedom of speech, see, because they figured, they gave freedom of speech, they figured everything they did was good, so you're gonna say good stuff anyway. They didn't figure anybody's gonna be, they never thought we was gonna rise up and speak against America, because most black people ain't doing that anyway. They never thought that was gonna happen, because we're gonna be slaves forever. So because we never had free speech for 400 years. Do we have free speech? You on the plantation, you have free speech? Yeah. You had about 3 seconds, as long as it took them to cut your tongue out. So none of that stuff had anything to do with us. See? It was for them. And so now that someone's speaking out, oh no, you can't do that stuff anymore. You can't be free, you can't speak freely. See? You can't do any of that stuff anymore. Because you never could do it to begin with. So anyway, we can move on, brothers and sisters. So I fully expect that this channel will be shut down very soon, right? Because they're going back and find some video for 2 months ago. Then whoever's doing this is going to go find something else. They're digging and find something, because they're going to find something, because I'm just telling the truth. And they hate it. That's what hate speech is. So let's move on, brothers and sisters. It's laughable. Like they can stop it. I understand their desperation. Cat's out the bag now. Hey, time has went off. Bomb has been triggered. It's too late now. It's been ignited. Okay, we're talking about Gog, Magog, and atomic war. ATTOMIC, MIC, atomic war. It's about scripture. That's what atomic war is. Scientists, yeah, I'm not going to go into all the details, but I keep explaining it. Everything is pressure. Everything is mathematics. So who has the greater pressure dispels weaker pressure. And the greatest pressure is thought. Thought is words, right? Thought, that's how you express your thought in words. Thought affects us. Other people's thoughts affects us. That's the most powerful force in the universe, the word. That's why I said in the beginning was the word. And the word with God, and God became the word. The word is the most powerful thing. And the point is that you're like an atom is powerful, but you have different atoms, some more complex than others. So the scientists, when they want to change reality, right, they send a book down that's an atomic bomb. And when it's ignited, it changes reality. It's nothing. That's the ultimate weapon. Not so-called their fission bombs and fusion bombs, whatever. Right? They can change circumstance. They can't change reality. See, but that's how they. That's another illusion. See, we can destroy everything. See, no, the most powerful weapon, right? They didn't have atomic bombs, but they brought down the Roman Empire, brought down the Islamic Empire, all these empires. It was brought down by the word, not by weapons. All of us brought down by words, not by weapons. When you understand that, the word is the most powerful thing in the universe. Thought. That's where words come from. And the more complex your thought is, the more powerful the word is going to be. And the more powerful your word is, the more powerful the pressure that you have, you're going to dispel the pressure, lower pressure around you. And the best defense against pressure is greater pressure, greater thoughts. Hope you understand the concept. But let's move on. Okay, we're going to say a couple of things here. We see trouble in Babylon. All the stuff going, trouble in paradise, so to speak. Everybody's against each other. Yeah, I know most of you understand, but it's in the predicate for your destruction. Because all these so-called laws, everything, see, they make laws for someone else and say, hey, yeah, but those laws redound back on you. Because once the laws are made, then all of a sudden now, for instance, they say, okay, you can't, it's illegal, right, to jaywalk. No, well, say something else. Say it's illegal to, let me give you an example here. Say it's illegal. I can find a good example here. Okay, is it illegal, right, for short people, see, to do any particular thing? So here you are, you 5'9", you 5'10", and you ain't worried about that. Yeah, that's cool. See, that's cool, right? So you don't worry about that, right? And then later on, they define being short as under 6 feet tall. Oh, you didn't see that coming. Same thing, or I'll give you a better example. so-called civil rights legislation where it's talking about affirmative action and these demons, you know, house Negroes. I guess that's hate speech there. They so they're foolish. So oh man, we're going to affirmative action. See, because when we keep going along with the Democratic Party demons, right? And so if you was minority, right, then you was going to get, because that we're supposed to be minority, right? So you're supposed to get special treatment. See, advantages, right? So you're gonna get all those corporate jobs and things, see, because they had to bring you in. Affirmative action means they had to take action in your affirmative for your case. So two people came, if a black person and a white person came, right, then, and they had equal qualifications, they supposed to prefer you over, because that's affirmative action. And before the ink was dry on that, they wouldn't classify women as minorities, because that's language, minority. Now women ain't the minority in this country, but they just classify them as minority. So all those jobs, all that stuff you thought you got, they got it. See, the white women got them. And that's why you see what's happening now, because they mostly in the workforce and everything. They wasn't before. You thought you was gonna be there. See how they're foolish. See? Because every time you try to pull something on Massa on this plantation, he's Massa, he run the plantation. You gonna trick him out of the plantation? Just find another way to put your take care of your behind. Because you get stupid and too stupid to get off the damn plantation altogether. So every time, I'm gonna fix this, man. I'm gonna trick master, man. I'm gonna trick master into making me, let me get in the house. I'm trick master, give me a better position. See? So now affirmative action. He's gotta let me, move up now. See? And they know, hey, his daughters, they get it. So now they move up and you back out in the field again. Anyway, all this stuff is going on. They're setting up, because these laws are setting up about internal, and think about it. I was telling you, I says, they're going to come after you. And the laws they've setting right now is the very laws they're going to use to come after you. Because now they're talking about what internal terrorists, domestic terrorists. Are they defining what domestic terrorism is? See? Because it don't take but a second for Black Lives Matter to be called a domestic terrorist. It don't take but a second to call you out there picketing and you out there walking, you out demonstrating, you out whatever you're doing, because you're a domestic terrorist, you're disturbing the domestic peace. Take but a second to do it. But there are laws out there. And you thought you was cool to go, right? And you help pass these laws. And then next thing you know, right, you're a victim of the laws that you helped pass. Because you keep going fall for this democratic part, these demons that they've taken and representing, right? That you claim is representing you. Anyway, it's trouble in paradise. Anyone can see it. They're gonna be at war in a few days. There's trouble within and trouble without. Everybody attacking each other. See, Mr. Biden's ruling as though he had a mandate when half the country, right, was totally against him. More than that, if you ask me. See, because they're pushing their agenda right through. They tell you never say anything like this. The country is more divided than ever. More divided than the Civil War. What do you think that means? And they're under more pressure externally than ever been. They say now Russia and China is moving in aggressive ways they've never seen before. Brother and sister, you see the clouds coming up, see it's getting dark, see thunder light. What do you think it's about to do? What do you think it's about to do? Let's move on, brothers and sisters. We're going to try to explain again, because you need to understand this. We need to start thinking mathematically. You need to start thinking mathematically. So I'm doing this way, try to bring the scriptures home to you mathematically, because I keep explaining the scriptures are mathematical books. So I'm trying to get you familiar with the mathematics behind, so you start thinking mathematically. Because you're going to need to start, that's the wisdom. Abraham said, the book and the wisdom is the mathematics, the pressure how to make the mathematics from, because the mathematics is the B, right? The science makes the B, turns the B into is. It needs a transformation to turn, because the B, universe just is. It is. It is, right? But you have to give it form, be and it is. Okay, so we start out, this whole process is a process that science put in motion. It's whole things put in motion for our resurrection. And they want to do it in a timely manner. Because we want to do it before, because this whole process is designed to destroy us. Our enemy's whole process since at least from the last 35,000 years, been to destroy us. So the scientists put in motion a plan, right, to resurrect us and to bring in the proper reality, because we would be in an illusion state. We'd be in an illusion, state of illusion for 35,000 years. Since Dr. Buddha came along, we've been in a state of illusion and delusions. And it's getting worse and worse all the time, because nothing around you makes any sense. See, right now, you have a world that everything that you have right now is based on mathematics. That's true, but it's also you're encompassed with delusion on every, not to even see the mathematics. Most people don't even recognize that everything around is mathematics, because you're all these illusions that keep you distracted. See, so this was a process set in motion, right? And that's the whole thing says, let's make Adam. You thought making Adam was a bad thing. That started the process. See, as soon as you understand the book, I'm not going into all the details about that. One day I'll go into a real intense presentation on the Quran. But Adam, that was to initiate the whole process. See, to kick off the resurrection. See, so we start with there. So when I can go into all the details about Adam and Jinn, all that kind of stuff, but that's a part of a process. It's not something just happens. There's such thing just happens. Everything happens as a result of something. It has to be something that triggers it. That's why scriptures are the most powerful weapons, the ultimate weapons, because these are scientists that put these pressure bombs, atom bombs, ATTOM, right, that change reality. They're the most powerful weapons in the universe. Okay. So here we are, and the first thing come up, Prophet Jesus, he triggers the whole process. Prophet Jesus 2,000 years ago. Some people call him Isa ibn Miriam. Okay. He triggered the process when he came with the sealed Bible, right? Okay. That took down the Roman Empire. See, the Bible, this is the Bible. They had all these weapons, they had all these legions and everything else. One person, that's all you need to send one person, they ignite that bomb and change reality. One person, you don't need a whole bunch. We don't send in weapons, we don't send in troops, we don't send in armies. We send one person, that's how it's the ultimate weapon. One person, right, that can trigger that explosion and change reality. It's an explosion. It changed reality. In this case, it changed reality for 500 years. Changed reality for 500 years. See? Till 500 AD. So he brought into Christianity that was ruled by the Pope, the church, for 500 years. See, that force, that explosion, right? Each explosion is more powerful than the next one. That's the whole point. Because you need to get enough explosive power, right, to kick off that final bomb. Just like a fission bomb, you first need that. You need to explode the trigger, the fusion bomb. So you need the first one is the smallest one, right? That's this one. So it mostly affected Europe, right, and parts of the Middle East. But put enough pressure on the Middle East, right? See, for 500 years, the Pope ruled Christianity under the Pope. That's non-mathematical, dogmatic Christianity, right, under the Pope, right? He was the ruler. That went on for about 500 years. Okay? That was prophet. He ignited the first bomb. This whole process is one bomb, but it has several different phases of explosive power. Just like the fission bomb, there's two phases to it. The first phase triggers the second phase. The second phase is the ultimate, is a thermonuclear explosion. This has several phases to it. Because the one that's trying to trigger is what's going to change all reality. Okay, so here we go here. Here you go, this is being changed. It's Prophet Muhammad. That pressure, there's enough pressure, because what happened is when you put pressure, force people to boost the most powerful, strongest people within them. See, pressure causes the nation to produce the most powerful people that they can, right? So they seed produce the strongest seed. See, if the nation, that's what it says. So in other words, they produced Prophet Muhammad, that pressure. He was the strongest one at that time. He was able to trigger the Quran. He was the only one. Remember, he had to produce somebody to trigger that next phase, which was the Quran. See, when that came on, it knocked out the first one, the Prophet Jesus, right? He knocked out the Roman Empire. This one knocked out the Christian Empire under the Pope, which also knocked out, put into the Roman Empire. You see what I'm saying? Because each one produces more power, so the ones before it knocks them out. So Islamic Empire, it knocks those out, and it bowled up. It bowled up the Christian Empire, European Empire. It bowled up for that. Put them for 1,000 years. The first lasts 500 years. This one lasts 1,000 years, right? And it bowled them up, right? That pressure. Put enough pressure on them that bowled them up for the European powers for 1,000 years. Understand? Okay. So then, that pressure was enough because it was putting power on the Europeans, right? But that puts pressure on them that they reorganized to a stronger structure to handle it, which became still Christianity, but mathematical Christianity. See, because there's a those are mathematic books, and all the science, actually, all the science here, it derived from the Bible. It's like you reap what you sow, every action has absolute equal reaction. Yeah, I know you don't understand that, but it comes out of there. A lot of science sometimes came out of Quran, trigonometry, algebra. See, because it changed your way of thinking. So that means your math becomes more powerful. You understand math becomes more powerful because it changed your way of thinking. Because remember, thought is pressure. So I put pressure and it changes the way you think. Because when you change the way you think, your reality changes. So it caused them to think in more of a structured way. So then they came with more powerful mathematics. You see? Just like the Islamic Empire, they came with trigonometry and they came with more powerful mathematics. So they can't be more powerful mathematics. All that pressure causing them to reorganize and think, and so they go into a more powerful reality. And when that happened, right, it was more powerful than the Islamic Empire. So boom, they knocked the empire, they knocked down the Islamic Empire. They became the preeminent power. But based on the Bible. They're still Christians. But the mathematical part of it, the mathematics come out of it. Because the mathematics, you see, you don't understand, but the mathematics, you see, all that is inspired by the Bible. It's in there. See? It's a mathematical way of thinking, but that produced calculus and vectors and all that kind of stuff that they're doing now. They think that's the Romans thought they had supreme mathematics. The Greeks thought they had supreme mathematics. They think they had supreme mathematics. They don't. That's why they got these planes flying around there, right? That they can understand the technology. So if they got supreme mathematics, how come these planes flying around that the Ferrari has, and they can't do anything with it? They can't figure out, it makes no sense to them. They can understand how they work anything. Because their mathematics, our mathematics go way beyond what they have. See? Okay. So this happened. Okay? So then this explosion, this will last 500 years. So first one 500 years, next one 1,000 years, this will last 500 years, right? This one would trigger the one they're actually getting after, because we're in the center there, and that's the one. We're in the center, and so it took all the pressure from all, because we respond to all other pressures. When the Islamic Empire came, we was raised up too. See, they make you think that only Arabs was raised up during the Islamic Empire. No. How did all those blacks in West Africa become Muslims? Because they were resurrected too. And in fact, it was most of them that was ruling Spain and southern Italy. They was powerful. They call them Moors. They was very powerful. So but they make you think that, oh, only Arabs. No. Ishmael and Isaac. We're Isaac. And this both was raised by Prophet Muhammad. But as it says, Scripture tells you, Ishmael betrayed Isaac. It's another story. Betrays into slavery. But that was part of the process, because by putting us over here, we're at the center of the storm. Now the storm where greatest pressure is, right? Because by us submitting, that's why we're told to submit to Adam. Because those submit to Adam would be reorganized, be turned to a diamond. You tell a piece of coal, take a piece of coal. No, you get under the ground. Oh, man, I'm gonna get on that ground. See, I'm gonna go all that pressure. But when it does it, right, submits to that, eventually turns to a diamond. That's why it says submit. Allah would not tell you submit to something that was against you. He said, told ain't submit, because he said, I know what you know not. Because if you submit, you're going to be transformed into a more beautiful thing. You're going to be transformed to the gods you are. That's why it says in Genesis, let's make man our image and likeness. And that fire, because they got all mixed up. They think that's talking about making Europeans. No. See, they got two stories in there. If you read that story carefully, right, Adam in there, right, he's from the first day, the beginning, from 6,000 years ago. But this last one they're talking about was made in the last 500 years. Read it. Every, 5 days. He was made on the last day, the last 500 years. That's us. Make man our likeness and image, right there. And we have rule of everything. And make them male and female. Adam wasn't made that way. Adam was made male and then later on female. But this one, made female, came at the same time. So it's talking about us. You better read it carefully. Maybe I'll explain a little more. I have done videos about it. That's talking about us. Because we're going to be in it. We image and likeness of God. In other words, we brought back to what we were before. We could be the gods. But we lost that. So now we brought back to us. Let's make man our likeness, our image. And we have dominion over everything. Everything. That's us. But we had to submit to Adam to do it. And we did. So everybody laughed at us and everything else. Oh, man, them Negroes, man, they cotton picking and everything. We submit. Because if you submit, why would God tell you to submit to something that's against you? He submit. Because, if you listen to it, if you obey, submit it, you made that sacrifice, you're going to be transformed. See? You'll be transformed to a new creation. In twinkling of an eye. See? So we submitted. They didn't. The jinn didn't. Who's the jinn? That's the Arabs. See? They against everything that Adam's done. Who's Adam? Adam are the Europeans, right? See? When you understand the Quran, it's clear, right? So they make mischief and shed blood. Adam's jinn is totally against them. They've been fighting. You see, they fight them all the time. They're constantly fighting them. So Sunnis and everything fighting, right? The European civilization. We submitted. We went through 400 years of hell. See, if you read that carefully, it said it's been 400 or 500 years that you'd be under that situation, because each day and night, I'm not going to it, but it says every day was 1,000 years, then every day was split in two parts, day and night. That's 500 years of peace. And that last one was made in the last 500 years. That's us. Okay, so we brought over here. That's why I told Smith we did. So now we're being transformed into a new creation. See, the other ones didn't, so they're not. But it's done now. We've done it. We made the sacrifice. Now it's time for us to reap our reward. Okay. So, but that it took that intense pressure to do it. Ignite the first bomb, Prophet Muhammad, right? Then second bomb, second phase, right? First phase, Prophet Jesus or Prophet Isa, right? Second stage, Prophet Muhammad. Third stage, right? The science, mathematical Christianity. To go 3 stages. Those 3 explosions, succession explosion, boom, boom, boom. Right? Because enough force, right? For us to explode, to be transformed, and then change reality totally. Because Isa, he just changed European people. And some of them Middle East. That's the first one. Second one, Islamic Empire, it spread Europe, Middle East, Africa. See, it spread out even greater. It was a big explosion. And then this explosion was even bigger because it covered the whole earth. God they covered the whole earth. See, the explosion was more powerful than the one before it. See, and that's going to ignite this explosion at the center. That's going to change all reality, the whole universe, everything. See? American Empire, that's still part. It's still part of Gog and Magog Empire, British, right? But that came in 2 phases. That explosion was so powerful, like it, like you see a star when it's about to explode, it's like it does spread out, then clap and spread out again. See, that's a powerful explosion. Because star when it explodes, just boom like that. This it start exploding, but it's enough gravity to pull it back in. See, and then boom, it's even bigger explosion. And that's what happened because it took 2 phases. This explosion was so powerful, it took 2 phases. The British Empire and the American Empire. The British Empire covered the whole world, but this was even greater. It covered the whole world too, but it had more power over the whole world. And we was right in the center of it. Right? This explosion was so powerful, it had 2 phases. That's what it took. And we was right in the center, all that pressure. So now, that's the final phase. That brings in total new reality. Paradise. Paradise. The whole universe. A garden as wide as the heavens and the earth. As Christ said, a garden as wide as heaven. That means it wouldn't be a garden if we couldn't get out there in a meaningful period of time. We'd be able to move at speed of thought. They say, oh, you can't go fast speed like, well, that's there because their mathematics is very weak. No, we can move as fast and speed of thought. We can get out to those stars in a matter of, some of them in hours, some of them in days, but we can get out there. See, but they can't get out, like I said, strong gods. They can't get out there. Even if we was able to, stupid enough to get them a technology, they still couldn't do it. Because you just can't go out there at that speed. Because you run into another star. How you run into another planet. You run into debris or something. First you got to get through the Van Allen belt. So if you run anything, you got a vehicle like that and you move. If you move, you have say you have some size of a bus, and that bus is moving at the speed of light, and that light hit a rock. That bus hit a rock. Would it be like that rock would be? It would be like you hit that bus with a nuclear weapon, just destroy it, because you got so much kinetic force. It's moving so fast. So it's like the bus was standing still and the rock was coming in at the speed of light. So you can look at it either way. So they can't do that because they need powerful computers that they can't even conceive of right now, that can tell you where every atom in the universe is and where it's at any particular time. And so you put where you want to go in there, and it computes a path so you go, so it won't be anything in your way, nothing, totally nothing in your way. And that's why we made the galaxies and planets, galaxies and constellations as we made them, right? Because the purpose is if we can do that, you have stuff all over the place. You could never get in place. So it's like your streets, right? You take and make streets. Because if you have streets, how can you drive a car, right? You move because you move stuff out the way. So now you can move down the street. So you build things aside the street. So that's why I put galaxies. Put all the star stuff, collect them together. So you have wide open spaces, lanes where you can go through. But but remember, these constellations, galaxies are always moving all the time. So when you look out there right now, that's not the way the universe looks. That's where it looked maybe a million years ago, a billion years ago, because it took that light that long to get here. So what you see out there, right, some of that stuff don't even exist anymore. So you need a computer to tell you where everything is at any point in time, period. And so then you put the navigation there, and a computer like that computer itself it bogs your imagination. But one day I will go in and talk to you more about that. But that same computer is what computer use to write history, because they can look ahead, because that's why they have to look ahead, see how the universe is. It had to be totally 100% accurate. That means they're going to look ahead and see what we're going to be doing, what you're going to be doing, whatever. They don't write and say, okay, I'm going to write this and that person's going to do it because I wrote it. No. They looked and saw what you was doing and wrote it down. You're not confined to prophecy. They saw what you was doing, they wrote it down. You understand that? People say, oh man, well, it's going to be, I can't do anything about it, man. What's going to be, that's BS. What's going to be is what you do. But they was wise enough, the computer's so powerful that they can look, know exactly what you, because your thought, all that's pressure, all that's mathematics. So they can, during the mathematics, the whole situation, they know exactly what you want to be doing. And so then they say, okay, we want this to happen. We want the reality, and then they take the necessary changes. So because it's a feedback type of thing. So they say, okay, that's the way this person's thinking, right? So we're going to plan this book, and we're going to modify the way they're thinking, because once they modify the way they're thinking, they're going to change reality. That's what the Angel is all about. That's why as an atomic bomb explodes, the thoughts. Because that's what the Angel is doing, is change your thoughts. It changes the thoughts of the people in the world. They don't realize they're being affected by it, because a new ideas in the world now. It's more powerful than their ideas. And whether they reject or not, it doesn't matter. Because it will either, just like when sunlight hits you, it either takes you and causes you to revolve, or it burns you up. If you resist it, it burns you up. Okay. So that's why we have computers do that. Powerful. They're not on the planet, they're off planet, so they will never get a hold to it. So therefore, even if they had, if they could get the vehicles that could move that speed, they could never get out there. That's why Christ says that strong God, they can't get out there because they'll know where everything is. So they'd be running the stars and everything else. So they might get out the solar system, that's about it. So that's the new universe coming, a biological one, because they're mechanical thing, they're analytical. Now, I talked about that in previous videos. Right? They want to bring in a mechanical universe. No, we have biological universe, a paradise. There won't be any 9 to 5. You work for other people. None of that. You see dolphins and whales and lions, stuff, doing that kind of stuff. So you may be smarter than us. It won't be that. See, and your paradise will be as you want it. I might like chocolate ice cream, you might not like. So if I bring you in a chocolate ice cream place, it'll be happy for you. Your parents can be exactly like you want it, because you're going to have the power, your thoughts can be so powerful that you're going to bring the paradise, your reality like you want it. But you're part of a body. It's just like all our body works together. Heart, lungs, all stuff work together. We're all part of a body. All these cells, you're just part of a cell. See, but my heart's reality is different than my lungs' reality. Hope you understand that. And this again is about the bomb. I was telling you, fission bomb, right? The fission bomb, you need that to trigger a fusion bomb. See? So I'm going to move on here. And this is the bomb that the scientists sent. It's very powerful. Like I said, it was the first outside, but that had to be triggered first. Put enough pressure, right? See here. Oops. I gotta use this cursor. Okay, here you go. This that one had to be ignited first. Put enough pressure to force to ignite this one. Put enough pressure. Those two together. Put enough pressure to unite this one. All three together. All of pressure. Ignite this one. That's the one they was trying to get to. It's been ignited. 7 seals been broken. They had to produce someone that was powerful enough to do it. See, because that one was step by was so nobody could trigger it or accidentally, right? See, and because it had to be full power. It had to be in the furnace long enough to be totally pure gold. That's right. So it had to be someone strong, powerful enough, right, wise enough to bring that new reality. You know, to break those seals and bring that new reality. Okay. So we're going to talk about this a little more detail. That's where we are right now. We're going to talk about here is this Iran thing. Okay, now we're going to follow this chapter 11 so you can follow this carefully. Chapter 11, right? It says they would witness for 42 years. You got Farrakhan talking about, well, the witnesses, the two witnesses are Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad. They don't know the angel, right? So they guess and find. It said they would be witnessing. They're the two top wings of the European nation. Each nation has 6 wings. They're the two top wings of every nation is the Islamic part of it. Okay, they were witness against false Israel for 42 years. Or false Israel, they come into existence in 1948. So 42 years, between 1990, that's what I'm saying right, 1948, that's the 42 years, 1,260 days is 42 years, that's how long, right, that they would be witnessing to 1990. 1990 is also the date that the angel was broken, the seals were broken, 1990, which triggered all these things you're seeing right now. That's what's happening right here. So they're in that position, okay? It's Iran and Syria. They're the Shia. They frauds angels, okay? Oops. The next stage here, 1990, right? Okay, it says they will be kicked out for 24 years, right? That's 3.5. Usually 3.5. They think they assume 3.5 days. No, 3 and 3.5 of what? Half of the 42 years. That means 3. That's 24 years. They would be in this position. They'd be cast down because America and false Israel and Britain moved into the Middle East. They pushed them right to the sidelines. That's what this means right here. And they would be in that position for 24 years. The war actually started in 1991, from 1991 to 2015, right? See, America falls Israel and Britain. They got they mastered the Middle East at this particular time until 1991 to 2015. Okay. Then it says, remember they're going down now. Then it says they'll be under the foot of the nations, right? They'll be trampled under the foot of the nations for 42 years, 42 months, which is 42 years. 42 months, which is 3.5 years. See, the first two was 42 years, then 24 years. Now it's 42 months. And the next one's going to be 24 months. 42, 24, 42, 24. But one is years and one is months. See, got to understand the pattern there. So now, right, they're under the foot of the nations means they're under control of the nations. Who represents the nation? UN. That agreement was made. This JCPOA was made, and that put them under control of the nations, right? And that happened in 2015 under Obama. Okay, that's what it's saying here. See? And they would be there, right, for 42 months or 3.5 years. From 2015, right, 3.5, that would put you at mid-2018. Okay, and that's that right there. Wait, I missed something here. Yeah, okay, and nope, something wrong. Okay, they've been a foot in the nation, right? They've been there for, well, okay, I had it right. For 3.5 years, right? So I mean, and then after that that would put you up to um, 2018, mid 2018, right? At which point Trump broke the agreement. That's what happened. Go check study chapter 11. I'm not changing anything. He broke the agreement. So then he started moving up. Because it said that after 3.5 days, right, the spirit of the God came to them. Who is the God? That God. Satan is God of this world. That's the spirit. Spirit of God came to them. So now they're covering that, right? And says, and it said after 3, so it means it would take 24 months to be in that position, which puts them in 2020. But it says also they'll be able to plague the nations off the European, the earth, which is European countries, off they will. So that means there'll be a plague during this period of time that will come from them. And that's the plague. And Exodus says, God, Farah says he's going to send this plague. And angel tell us that he's using them to spread this plague, right? And that'll be 2000, can't make this up, that'll be 2020. That's it. The spirit of God came to them, right? That's the spirit of God. That's one of the demons. So now they're in that position. That means they're moving up and win. They're win now. The other ones, they was in this, but now they moved. They took them 2 years to move up, 24 months to move up this position. Where they are right now. See? That's where they are right now. But they're moving up. See? And the question is, how long does, so then they go from there, because Trump wrote the agreement in 2018, that's what happened. So then it said they stood upon their feet. So it doesn't say, you can calculate it, but they doesn't say right off exactly what they said. That means they kicked them out of the Middle East. That's the war. That's about to take place any day now. That's the war. Because they're moving up, they're putting pressure. There's the plague took place, right? They're putting pressure on the European countries, right? They move, now they push, because that's moving up, they're putting pressure as a wind blowing, right? So now they stood upon their feet. At 3.5 days, the Spirit of God came into them. They stood upon their feet. So there was 2 positions. So that means that they win the war and they blew them out. Because they told me they're going to war. They're telling you. They threaten them. They threaten them now. They don't stop with uranium. They're going to attack them. They threaten them with not sanctions anymore. Britain, Germany, false Israel, America, threatened with military action if they don't stop rich uranium, and if they don't stop messing with that metallic uranium. That's what's getting ready to happen, brothers and sisters. So I want you to know, at that particular time, that's when Suleiman, right, comes into the NOI. Because it says, the Lord you seek will suddenly come to his temple. That's what happened there. Because they're going to listen now. First time he came, they ignored him. They're going to come listen this particular time. This is what's getting ready to happen. Okay? And this is where Babylon falls. See? Because once that war takes place, America now is at war with Europe, because they're telling you right now, they made an announcement that America could be a war, a nuclear war with China and Russia. They're saying that. The top generals are saying that, right? So there's Gog and Magog, right? So that's what it says when Babylon fell. So now they're at war with European countries, Russia and Europe, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, and with China, with Orient, right? Okay. And it says, when you read it, it says, Babylon became the home of every demon and hateful bird. Well, that's what's in them, because they're at home, they're under them. See, that's what it's talking about. These are the Christian blacks here, the demons, right? Master's children, and this is false Israel. Okay, that's what it says. Every hateful bird. This false Israel represents the bird, the eagle. That's what it's talking about. It came to home, so it makes you know who Babylon is. Because Babylon became the home of every hateful and bird and demon. So you know who Babylon is. That's what's happening right there. Okay? And then, right, that's when the four winds blow. That's two of them, right? But it says, right, it says, and one day will come the plagues of her. Death, there's death. That's Magog, right? Morning is talking about at the bottom here. That's a little more complex, but that's what the morning, that's what Babylon is. That's what Magog is, right? And famine represents the demons or the locusts. That means they're going to be, that's the second locust plague, which lasts 5 months. They would tear this country apart. See? And then she would burn down, right? The winds also fire. That's what's talking about. See? Because if you read the first, that fire right there, that's the first of the four trumpets. And what was the first trumpet doing, right? Because you have 7 trumpets. The first one to fall was the 5th trumpet. That's where Esau, that was the first trumpet. The second one, right, was the 6th. And there's a 6th one that released the first 4, right? So that's the 6th one. Archimedes, that's the 6th one. And he released the first 4, okay? And so the first one right here is that fire, and he brought fire on the earth and everything. So that's what he's talking about. That's what he's talking about chapter 18. 4 winds blow. See, because at that point, we're under attack. They're attacking us. Because falsehood, you got to understand the psychology of the times. The whole idea about being false Israel is to get rid of the narrative that we're the true seed of Abraham. Nobody wants us to be, as soon as against it, everybody's against it. No, we can't possibly be true seed of Abraham, because we are. That means that land belongs to us. See, that means who are they that's been oppressing us that we're true seed of Abraham? See? So they had to set that narrative. See, and the thing is that because we couldn't possibly be that. But what happens is that at this point you see false Israel is gone, because when that war takes place, that's one of the first to go. It's gone. There's no more. So they can't possibly be true seed of Abraham, because the prophecy says once they're relocated, they never be uprooted again. So that means they know who we are. That means the whole world knows who we are now, because all this scenario is totally clear. They know exactly who we are. It's clear, and the whole world is against it. The entire world is against it. See, so they got to take us out, get rid of us, because we're the evidence. See, if you murder somebody, and the police knock on the door, right? Here comes the police knock on the door, and you got the body laying in your living room there. You tell me I don't have nothing to do with it. See, because at this point, right, they've lost the war in the Middle East. They know how they lost that war in the Middle East. And so they know God's coming for us to take us home. And so they want to get rid of the evidence. You have to understand. See, and plus, that's just a basic idea. But there's more to it than that, because you got the evangelicals, they're going crazy now. And everybody in America is going to realize that we are the true seed of Abraham. See? And that's going to drive a lot of people crazy. See? So anyway, let's move on. And then the resurrection. See? Because all blacks come together now because they're being attacked. So they unite. But we don't want the demons. See, because they're not us. See, they slave masters' children, house Negroes. We don't want them. So they all come together, because that's said. Remember, the wheat and the chaff was told, no, let them grow together. Told Elijah to minister to both of them. He said, at harvest time, we separate them out and throw the weeds, right, or chaff, back to the fire. That's what's about to happen here, because that's separation. But during this time, this is after the 5 months of that second locust plague. So this is going to be an interesting year, because all is supposed to happen this year. I'm telling you, it's going to happen this year. So then the demons are cast back into the fire, right? And we're removed. Because that's the point. We're talking about Daniel, where Michael rises, right? And those will be delivered in the Lamb's book, right? They're delivered. So we're over there, because the Shia is not coming over here. We're over there. And it says some everlasting light and some everlasting shame and appallment, right? Okay, everlasting shame and appallment, that's demons, they're thrown back in. But Levi, that's the saints, right? They got to go to tribulation, but they're not delivered, we're delivered. They have to go to tribulation, but they get through the tribulation. That's how they get there. They have to go the scenic route. Okay? Now, the world's in turmoil. We're separated. We're at peace. We're at home at peace. We're protected. And all the world's in flames. World war all over. Everybody's fighting everybody, right? But we're separated. We're at peace in paradise. Okay? That's the ark. Okay? Then, that's when China and India, right? That's the leopard in Daniel. They attack America and take it out. That's the flood. It's the flood of humanity, right? The 200 million man army they talk about in India. So it's a flood of humanity, not water. So they take out America first, Britain, right? Falls is already gone. They take out all Europe. So they're gone. See? And Africa's divided. See, right? See, Africa represents the red part, right? It's two parts. You got the Islamic part that was up here in the Ark, and you got the non-Islamic part that Obama's going to be running. That's why he's the one on the white horse. He's going to conquer and to conquer. He had two conquests to make. So that's him. Because Africa's going to, when this war takes place, Africa's going to divide. It's all these countries now. It's going to divide into two segments. It's going to be non-Islamic Africa and Islamic Africa. That's what it's telling you. See? So you take, and then that's the ark, right? Remember the rainbow? That was the rainbow. I'm not changing anything. So the rainbow bit above the waters. It's right there, brothers and sisters. Go check it out. But read the ark. It said, in God put a rainbow over the waters. And the waters also called the new earth now, right? Because now they under the bottom. Because the new earth now. New heavens, new earth. New heavens, new earth would be under the bottom. That's the waters. The rainbow above it. And the sea and death is, chapter 20 says, they're no more. And now we're in paradise. Forever. Hope you understand. Okay, brothers and sisters, that's pretty much it. Hope you get it before they take it, censor this one or throw this one away. Because I mentioned to Brother Malik last night, that they came after him on Facebook. I said, it won't be long before they probably come after me on YouTube and Facebook too. Because I gave up on Facebook trying to do live videos. So I'm doing this on YouTube. And like I said, the one they just took was something I did a couple of months ago. So I guess they haven't got around to the other ones. They said when you get the second or third one. So don't worry about it, bro. It doesn't matter. The bomb has already exploded. Nothing they can do to stop it. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.